Welcome to this special webinar entitled Gifts, Gifting, and Grandparents. My name is Kathy Nelson. I'm the CEO of the Photo Managers. We are an organization that supports professional photo organizers through education, certification, partnerships with companies like Nixplay, who we're speaking with today. And so you're not alone if you never heard of professional photo organizers, but there has been a growing need as we all continue to take thousands upon thousands of photos. And so, yes, you can actually hire somebody to help you organize those photos, scan them, make photo books, slideshows, set up your Nixplay frame if you needed. And you can learn a lot more about us by going to our website, thephotomanagers.com. But today, I'm really excited to introduce you to a new gifting option from one of our most trusted partners, Nixplay, which is America's #1 digital photo frame company. So joining me today also is certified professional photo organizer Laura Woolsey of Memories Forward in Austin, Texas, and a real fan of Nixplay photo frames, not only for her clients, but her family as well. So she'll share a little bit. And White Keek, which I think, again, I'm saying his name right. Yeah. He's from Nixplay. Good. He's going to answer the questions in the chat. So as I go through the presentation, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. He's here from Hong Kong at 2 in the morning, so he's a real trooper. We're thrilled to have him with us as well. So before I jump in completely and share with you this new feature that allows you to send a Nixplay frame as a gift with the photos and videos already on the frame, I want to share with you a little bit of why a gift that allows family and friends to interact with their photos is so valuable. One of my favorite quotes that I've said for many years now is there have been great societies that did not have the wheel, but no societies that did not tell stories. I believe that we are a people of stories, and the way we do that today, or ever since cameras were invented, is through our photos and videos. And research confirms this. Research confirms how impactful sharing photos and videos are. This is a great quote. The single most important thing you can do for your family may be the simplest: develop a strong family narrative. So there was a psychologist who works with children with learning disabilities, and he noticed, or she noticed something about her students. The ones who knew a lot about their families tended to do better when they faced challenges, she said. Her husband was intrigued, and along with a colleague, Robin Fitch, set out to test her hypothesis. They developed a measure called the Do You Know scale and asked children to answer 20 questions. They found that the more children knew about their family's history, the stronger their sense of control over their lives, the higher their self-esteem, and the more successful they believed their families functioned. The Do You Know scale was the single best predictor of children's emotional health and happiness. Do you know where your grandparents grew up? Do you know where your mom and dad went to high school? Do you know where your great-grandparents might have been from? Do you know about an illness or something that happened in your family that may not always be positive? Do you know the story of your birth? So you might be thinking, well, what does that have to do with a digital photo frame? But I really believe that by watching photos on a frame allows for natural conversations to arise about the photos, right? Suddenly they're appearing and you can talk about those. Another significant study that came from the National Institute for Dementia Education. Their research showed that discussing past events along with photos of those events improves the mood and the general cognitive performance of those with dementia. Here's a quote from that study. We concluded that the power of engaging with personal photos matched with a high quality care curriculum in living environment improved the quality of life for those with dementia by stimulating the brain. So I just wanted to share those two studies with you briefly to demonstrate that, well, it's a lot of fun to share photos through a digital photo frame or all the different ways that we do that. It really does make a difference in people's life. And your willingness to be here today to learn about how to do that is really important. And these gifts are really meaningful gifts. So that brings me to the perfect gift, today's featured product, the Nixplay digital photo frame. And it was created by families, for families by families. The founder and CEO, Mark Palferman, who I've met, really great guy, created Nixplay in 2013 as a way for families to stay privately connected whenever they wanted to be. He's a dad of 2, and he has family spread across the world. He saw a need not only in his own family, but in others too. Faraway grandparents who long to have daily news of their grandkids, newlyweds wanting to share their new life with families, college kids wanting to share, get comfort from updates from home, people in the military, right? They all long to be in touch with their loved ones. So now more than 2.8 million frames later, Nixplay is the #1 selling digital photo frame. Why? Because of their uncompromising and quality, and they're obsessed with 4 things: design, functionality, security, and sustainability. So let's jump in. Nixplay set out then with an objective. They said they realized they wanted to make the process of gifting and setting up a frame as effortless, stress-free, and joyful as possible, especially for the person who receives a frame as a gift. And that was also the result of customer surveys. So as all companies do, and many times you get these surveys, it's worth filling these out a lot of times. They found that 80% of all the people who answered their survey were age 60 and older. 70% were female. 74% had received their frames at some point as a gift. 86% who had received their frame as a gift were age 60 and older. And many of them were female, 75%. So their takeaway was a significant number of Nixplay frame owners are age 60, female, and they got their frame as a gift. So they felt like, let's come up with a way that people do not have to, the person who's gifting the frame no longer needs to unbox the frame, upload the content to it before sending it on to the person who's getting the gift. They decided, let's make that much easier for people than we had done that, than was in the past. So we're going to take you through this user scenario, right? So that you're able to visualize what I'm going to explain to you as we go along. We have a new customer, Laura, who decided to purchase and set up a frame as a Christmas gift for her mom, Helen. And she wants to invite her brother to contribute to the gift. So remember, Laura is the person who's giving the gift. David is her brother, he's the contributor, and Helen is the mom who's going to get the gift, right? So now there is no need for gifters to unbox the frame, to upload the content before sending it, right? They have now made it, Nixplay made it possible for them to do this via an app using the gift setup feature. So what happens is if you purchase a frame and you set up your frame, you go in and you log in and register, you're going to get a note. Welcome, Laura. Remember, you're giving the gift. What would you like to do? Set up your own frame or set up this frame as a gift for somebody else, If you choose the gift setup, which this time of year is a perfect thing, you then go to the next frame where you just put in the details of who it is that this is for. And then when there will be, it'll give you a code, a gift code. So the gifters, now you can also include a greeting message and preload photos and videos to the frame. So you'll get this next frame that says, what occasion are you buying the gift for? Anniversary, birthday, whatever. Obviously it's, maybe it's a holiday at this point. And then you're going to be able to put a message like happy birthday, mom, or Merry Christmas, or lots of love from Laura and everybody else. And then mom knows that when she's going to get this, that she's going to be getting this gift, right? And that's going to allow you then to preload the photos and videos into the frame. Now, what's also unique about this is that the recipient doesn't need to download an app or create an account in order to set up the frame. They just need to enter their gift code in their email, and suddenly their frame, and connect their frame to Wi-Fi, and now they will be able to see those photos immediately. And what makes this really even better is that many people can now also add to this account. So we mentioned her brother, right? She can send an email to her brother who also has family photos and things. He can also be uploading his photos to mom's frame. So when mom receives her frame and opens it up, suddenly she connects it to Wi-Fi, all the photos and things will now be able to be seen right off the bat. So the frame, like I mentioned, works instantaneously, showing images, videos, and messages from the gifter and the contributor who preloaded as part of the gift setup process. Now, if you have questions, don't forget, we will answer this if I didn't go through this in a way that it made sense, but it's really easy. You can't almost mess this up. Now, years ago, I bought a frame for my mom, probably 5 or 6 years ago now. And I remember it took me a lot of time to set up the frame and then add the photos and then bring the frame to my mom and then set everything up for her. Now I could have had that all set up ahead of time and she could have just opened the frame and all the photos and videos would be there. Now, what's great about Nixplay too is, remember, you can continue to add photos and videos and stuff now through the app on your phone, so that frame becomes an interactive experience for the person who has the frame in their home or wherever it is that they have it. So it becomes really the perfect holiday gift. So now I want to introduce you to Laura Woolsey, who actually is a certified photo manager from Memory Forward. And she is passionate about cataloging and preserving family memories. And it began at a very early age when she helped her mother maintain their family photo collection in perfect chronological order. She learned early on to add dates, events, and names on the back of every single photo. And she always loved flipping through those albums and seeing her life unfold. She didn't realize until much later in life that most people don't do it like that. After she got her computer science degree and a career as a database analyst, she merged her skills and now has a passion for helping others preserve their photos and natural stories through her company called Memory Forward. And she's going to share with you her experience with both as using a Nixplay frame as for her own family and then also for her clients. So Laura?
Thanks, Kathy. Can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Great. Yes, I'm here in Austin, Texas. It was a pretty good introduction, so I'll go right to my experiences with Nixplay. My team and I have been organizing and digitizing family photos for over 15 years now. So as a veteran of the industry, I've seen quite an evolution of digital frames during this time, and Nixplay stands out by far as the industry leader for a lot of reasons, but innovation, quality, and customer service are just bar none with them. I've never really had the need to look anywhere else for a digital frame for my family or clients. I've gifted or delivered at least 50 Nixplay frames, and they just keep getting better and better. They have increased the screen quality, the screen size. It's gotten easier to set up, easier to add photos with the app. The app is really easy to use. And now this new gifting feature that Kathy just explained, which I am so excited about, it is going to make it so much easier to surprise a client or a family member with a ready-to-go frame right out of the box. And having that custom message right there on the screen is really exciting. I can't wait to see people open that and see that message from their loved one. So on the screen here that Kathy's sharing, the picture on the left is my dad. He's the one pointing to the frame. And his brothers gathered around at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, enjoying a Nixplay frame. Both sides of the family visited at different times during this gathering. So I had several playlists set up on 2 different frames, rotating through countless memories of my parents and their extended families over the decades. Throughout the event, it was a constant source of conversation and storytelling. And my parents were delighted to be able to relive those memories with their family. Also, as a photo organizer, my team has helped many clients enjoy their memories again in this format. I'm a really big believer that scanning and preserving printed photos and digital photos is only worthwhile if you are actually finding a way to use the photos again, rather than just letting them sit on a thumb drive or in your desk drawer. So to align with that belief, we've actually begun to proactively educate our clients and include a Nixplay frame as part of the deliverable for their scanned and organized photos. Clients love this concept and are delighted to set up the elegant frame in their homes. We have one client in particular who has been extremely vocal about his love for Nixplay frames. And I recently had the pleasure of interviewing him for other reasons, but he specifically talked about Nixplay during that interview. He said, quote, "I have 2 Nixplay frames, both sitting side by side in my kitchen with 2 different groups of photos rotating. My wife smiles at me all the time because I just sit there and stare at these things for long periods of time because I just so enjoy looking at these memories of my life and of my family. It's the most enjoyable thing to do. You don't have to go in, pull out all your photo albums and dig through closets and find things in order to enjoy them. They're just right there on the screen. It's part of my daily life." So obviously I'm a fan. I think Nixplay is the easiest way to actively enjoy your photos daily, not just have them trapped on a phone or in a drawer or boxes in the closet. And Nixplay is by far the best quality and user experience of any digital frame on the market. That's my experience. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that sharing that. And, you know, I know we talked about the title is This Like This for grandparents, but a good friend of mine just became a grandmother, and her daughter, it's her brother who had the baby, and she lives in LA, they live here in Connecticut. And when I told her about Nixplay, her eyes lit up and she's like, I got to get that for Annie. I got to get that for Annie.
Mhm.
And the good news is now with this option is she's able to upload all the photos of the baby. You know, her and her son can add all the photos that she's not seeing of the baby. And then when they mail that to her as a gift, when she opens the frame, the photos and things will already be there, which I know is going to be a real treat. So there's lots of different options and ways to use the frame now, by having those photos already added before the person actually opens the gift. So do we have questions that have come in? Isabel is going to come off mute and ask questions that people may have.
We do have some questions, and I will start with Mark's question. Will this frame be managed via my Nixplay app, or does it require management via the gifted person's app?
So I've actually been answering the questions on the chat, but I can answer that again, so everybody can hear. So the question was whether you need to manage the content on the app on your side or the person using the frame. Well, you can actually do both. So if you go through the gifting process and the gift recipient receives the frame, they receive the gift content that you and your family have set up. Once that has happened, both they and yourself can manage the content to the frame, show whatever you want to show on the frame by either party.
And another question, can you add contributors after the initial gift was set up?
Yes, you can. So once you have done your part for the gift setup, you can add up to 10 people. Yeah, they can also add their greeting messages as well as the photos and videos of all your memories.
And if the recipient doesn't have a computer email, what's the best workaround to gift these recipients a Nixplay using this feature?
Yeah, so for this one, I think one way would be to, if you are buying the frame for them, maybe one way would be to set it up yourself first. And so to connect to the frame through the website or the app, upload the content. If you're the one who's managing the content for them, then that's probably the best way. And then once you give the frame to them, then you can manage the content and they don't actually need to handle anything. It's all just going to go through you.
And we have a question about accessing or gifting through a web link rather than a phone app. Is that possible?
Unfortunately, not at this moment. That is something that we aim to support in the near future. But at this moment, you can only do the gift setup through the mobile phone.
And can photos be deleted once they've been installed? I'm assuming by the gifter, if the recipient can delete those photos.
Yes, absolutely. So anything that you upload to Nixplay, either just on the mobile app or showing on frame, you have the ability to permanently delete them. So we don't store anything once you permanently delete them.
And is it possible for the recipient to pause on a photo to look at it longer or talk about it?
Yes, absolutely. So on the frame, we have a pause button. And so if you think, there's a particular video or a photo that you really love, they're either on the RC model, the remote control model, there's a pause button there, or we have a new touch frame where you can just touch the screen and there's a pause button there, and you can sort of enjoy the moment. Alternatively, we can also allow transitions, longer transitions between each photo. So for example, if you have a lot of memories that you want to view for a longer time, or instead of, every 5 seconds, the next photo comes, you can do 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and so forth.
And does the recipient, do they need to have Wi-Fi in order to receive this gift?
Yes. So even without going through the gift setup, you would still need Wi-Fi to receive content, to receive the photos that you have uploaded. And same with the gift setup as well.
Is there any sort of integration between the Nixplay app and other sharing, photo sharing websites like Google Photos?
Yes, we actually do have Google Photos. So we have an integration with Google Photos where you can synchronize your latest Google Photos. I think right now we allow up to 1,000 latest photos to be synchronized. So once you do that integration, then any new content that you upload to your Google Photos, it automatically pulls them into Nixplay, and you can directly show them onto the frame without needing to constantly upload.
And can you speak a little bit about where people can purchase Nixplays? Are they available in Canada?
Yes, we actually do have a Canada site. So if you go to, if I'm not mistaken, nixplay.ca, and I think that should be our Canada site where you can purchase the frames there.
It's Denise here from Nixplay. I've just added it to the chat.
Okay, thanks, Denise.
And is there a separate subscription needed to manage the content?
No, so subscription is an add-on to the experience. So to manage the content, to upload, show videos and photos, that's all free once you purchase the frame. So the subscription actually allows for longer videos. It allows for more storage. So if you are a really heavy user, you have a lot of photos to upload, then that subscription may provide value to you to increase your storage, or if you have long videos that you want to share, we can do that by subscription. And I think so for non-subscription, you can support up to 15-second videos, but for subscription, you can support up to 1-minute videos.
And can you share a little bit about where the photos or videos are stored on the recipient's frame? Are they stored by the recipient, the gifter, both?
Do you mean the person viewing the photos on the frame, or?
Yes, the recipient. Where would their photos be stored if they've been, I assume if they've been shared by the gifter, where are the photos then stored for the recipient?
Okay, so when you upload a photo and it's showing up a frame, it will download to the frame, so you have it stored on there.
And is it possible to add captions to a photo?
Yes, it is possible to have captions.
And how does the frame handle orientation of the picture that's being sent, as far as how the frame is also displayed, landscape or portrait?
So we have different modes. So say you have the frame. So the frame actually supports both landscape and portrait. So if you have your frame on portrait mode and you have a landscape photo, then we have a few options. So obviously the ratio doesn't fit. And so the empty space, you can either show black or show a sort of like a blur background. But you can also sort of enlarge the image so it takes up the full screen. And so there's never any sort of, there's plenty of choices for you to choose from in terms of how you want to show your photos, whether it's landscape or portrait.
As far as selecting photos from Google Photos, can you share specific or choose specific albums as opposed to the whole library?
I can't remember from the top of my head, but I think you can, yes.
And what's the max number of photos the frame will hold?
So the frame will actually have, in terms of its memory, I think it's 8 gigabytes. But if you have more than 8 gigabytes worth of photos, it will swap the content. And so you can really show theoretically an infinite number of photos on the frame.
And what's the best way for someone, for example, in the US, to purchase a Nixplay and gift it to someone who lives in Canada?
So for this situation, Denise, do you have anything to add on this?
I'll help where I can. You can certainly order from our Canadian shop from anywhere in the world. So you can sit anywhere in the world and order for delivery in Canada. But that doesn't put the frame into your hands. So you just need to be aware of that. So that would be delivery into Canada through our Canadian shop. Otherwise, you would need to order it within the US, complete your setup and then post it on.
Thanks, Denise.
And is there a way to have the frame on or pause on to look like a static photo instead of scrolling?
Yes, certainly.
Are there any common photo or video formats that are not supported?
We do support quite a range of formats. So if I can just quickly find there is a support article on our website to say which formats are supported. I can't remember from the top of my head, sorry about that. But I can find that and share that with everyone once I find that.
And can you share or talk a little bit about Nixplay's privacy policy? This is coming from a professional photo manager who says that many of her clients are concerned about this issue, but her understanding is that Nixplay is one of the leaders in protecting privacy.
Yes, so we do take privacy very seriously, and it's one of our core values. And so, as one person asked before, so if you upload anything to Nixplay, we don't, you can delete that permanently from our system if you choose to do so. We don't sell any of your data or anything like that. We don't use your content and sell that. And so we do take privacy very seriously for our users.
And can you share a little bit about the most popular frames that Nixplay offers?
Yes, so we have, so if I just open up the website, great. So if you tap on the shop frames, and on there you can see the range of frames that we have. And we have recently launched the Touch. So those are our newest models. Those are actually fairly popular, as well as I think 8-inch and 10-inch smart remote control frames as well. And so it really depends on your usage, really. You know, if you want a smaller frame and want to put that on your bedside, you know, to have your photos and videos shown besides your bed, then the smaller frame would be an option. If you are, you know, you have a place for the frame in the living room, then I would suggest some of the larger models, 8, 10, or even 15 for that, for better displaying experience. Obviously, you know, the larger the frame, it's going to be a better experience. And so it really depends where you want to place your frame inside your home, or inside the gift recipient's home. But we do have a range. Yeah, we do have a range of have a selection for you to choose from.
And then here's your the setup and gifting now is here for people that are right there on the.
We have a couple more questions. Will the frame notify you if new content is being sent to it?
Yes, we do have an option. So the recipient can actually turn that option on or off. So, you know, if it just feels a bit too much for them, they can always turn that off, but we do have the option. And so any new content that is going to the frame, they would see a notification on the frame to let them know there's new content.
Does the frame have a sleep mode so it doesn't just run all day and all night?
Yes. So for our sleep mode, we have kind of two options. So one option is it will automatically turn off after a certain period of time, and you can set that period. We have another option, which is sleep schedule, where you can tell it when to wake up and when to go to sleep. So it doesn't display 24 hours a day. And you really don't want that. You know, sometimes during the night you want it to shut down. So you can set a sleeping schedule on that.
And can you speak a little bit about how sturdy the frames are, as far as, you know, if balls hit them or if they fall on the floor?
So I can't speak from experience, but I myself do a lot of testing on the frames as part of my my role, and I would say they hold up pretty well.
And do you have any advice for the process of taking photos from a thumb drive and uploading it to a Nixplay frame?
So if you were to get your content from a thumb drive, I would suggest to put it on your computer and then using our website to upload. So I don't think in our new models, in our current models that we sell, we support thumb drive support. So meaning directly putting in a thumb drive directly into the frame and upload, showing the photos there. You can only do it via uploading through the website or the web app.
And is it possible to connect the frame to a larger monitor?
No, that's not something that we are supporting at this moment.
And does the gifting feature work on frames that are a few years old, or is it only, you know, with new frames moving forward?
So we actually do have a page where, so sorry, let me just quickly share that link. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna post the link in the chat, and this will let everybody know which frames support the preloading of content. So if you buy a frame from our website, then all of them will support the gifting.
And since Wi-Fi is required in order to send pictures and videos to the frame, how does that work if you're gifting it and you're not the one unboxing it? You wouldn't be able to connect the Wi-Fi for the gifter. They would have to, or how would that work?
So the gift recipient would need to set up the Wi-Fi themselves. This is something that we will work on in the future to help the gift recipient, because we understand that, you know, sometimes the gift recipient is on the older side and may not be as tech savvy as you know, connecting the Wi-Fi. So that is something that we are aware of, but right now during the gifting setup, we don't support setting up the Wi-Fi for them, but that may come in the future. So this is something that the recipient will need to handle themselves at this moment.
And regarding the $15 discount that's on the screen, does that apply in addition to the current percent off promotion that's on the website, or is it separate?
I can speak to that if you like. The promotion is specifically for our print shop. So we would love to introduce everybody on this call to the Nixplay print shop, where we've partnered with Fuji. And it's just one more way to make the most of your memories. And so as well as putting them on your frame, you can order a whole host of personalized gifts. And we'd encourage you to go and do that and maybe choose a Christmas gift. But it is just that one code for that one promotion within our print shop, not on our frames.
There was a, sorry, I saw a couple of more questions. Maybe we can just answer them first.
Oh, yeah.
So Marlene asked, do your photo frame have captions available? Yes, we do. So you can add your own captions to the frames, to the photos. Sorry. And Todd asks, so you explained that you can get pictures onto the frame prior to the person receiving. So it's already set up for them, but I also heard you didn't need to unbox it to do this. Yes, so Todd, for the gifting setup, what the gifting setup allows you to do is, once you bought the frame, you actually don't need to unbox it. So you can send it directly to the gift recipient, and through the mobile app, you can actually prepare some content. And when the gift recipient unboxes the app, unboxes the frame, sets it up, and uses the gift code and the email to set up the frame, they will be able to see all the content without needing to do anything. So they don't need to download the app. They don't need to go to any websites. They just enter the code, the email, and obviously they'll need to do the Wi-Fi setup. But once they've done that, then they can automatically see the content that has been set up for them.
And I pulled up the screenshot again just of that, so you can see on, you know, it'll say get started. I have a gift code. Then they put in that gift code, and then it'll set it up. But then the frame will be activated, correct?
Yes, exactly. So Wendy asks, can you add music? No, we actually don't support music, but you can add a video with music if that's, you know, that can be an alternative. So Diana asks, can you rearrange the order in which your photos are displayed? Yes, you can do that on the app and on the website as well. So Barbara, do the videos have to be displayed separately from single photos? I'm not sure I understand that question. But it basically, so how the frame works is you have, say, like a playlist, and you have photos and videos inside that playlist, and it will just show one after the other. So whether it's a photo or a video, after a certain time, it will transition to the next piece. And once the video has finished playing, then it would go to the next one, whether it's another video or a photo. Can we see the slide that showed caption writing on it?
Slide that, let's see if I can go back here.
Okay.
This one?
Oh yes, this one is the greetings message. So we support, besides supporting adding content to the gifting setup, we also enable a greetings message. So you can write something very special for the gift recipient, and also invite other people to do the same. And so this is going to be the first thing that they'll see once the frame has been set up and they've went through the gift code and the email. And so, you know, the first experience that they see is that special message that you've written for them. So Michelle says, does that mean you can't also hear audio from a video? Yes, you can. So we do have speakers on the frame, so you can hear audio.
Like, can I jump in here? Because I think I've given some misinformation earlier. So I said to somebody on the call that they wouldn't be able to purchase a frame from our Canadian site, have it delivered in Canada, and then carry out the gifting setup from the US. Actually, I think I was probably wrong, and please forgive me, because this is such a new and exciting service to us that there are a few details that I should have clarified before joining this call. So, Wykit, can you clarify for us, can our customer have a frame delivered to their recipient and set up from a different country?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so to clarify that, you can do that. Thanks, Wykit.
Thanks, Denise. So Stacey asks, if you have the app already installed on your phone, will it be updated when the feature launches? My app doesn't currently have the gifting feature. So we actually launched it today. And if you actually go to the frames page and tap on the frame name, where it opens up the list of frames that you have, on the top it says set up a gift, and that's how you access the gifting setup.
Are we still, you got a lot of questions there. We put you to work this morning.
But I think that so far there hasn't been any new questions so after that. So I think people have asked quite a bit already.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, and it's this is so new that it just went live this morning. So you all are the first people who are asking the right kind of questions too for this. So we're really excited that you're here and that and that we've had Nixplay representative here to really help answer these questions. Thank you, everybody. I hope this was a engaging and helpful idea for gifts. Thank you so much for the Nixplay team that was here answering questions, the professionals. Thank you, Laura Woolsey, for sharing your testimony to us about not only for your own family, but for all your customers and clients. And especially those of you who are working on your photos and things like that, or working with a photo manager, having those photos once they've been scanned and digitized added to those frames is such a wonderful way to bring it back into life. And again, I want to just reiterate, like, kind of those studies at the beginning. I'm sure the reason you're here on this call, I'm probably preaching to the choir a little bit, but the fact that photos really make a difference, right? They connect us with one another, with people from afar. It's they're so meaningful, and they come out. I just spent the weekend with a young cousin. He's only 64, who's unfortunately in his final stages with cancer, and with his children. I brought some old photos from albums that I had, and they couldn't believe their dad had all that hair. And it just was like, we all know, right? The magical moments of when you look at those old photos and that sense of connection. So a Nixplay frame is just the perfect way to get those photos back into people's lives. So getting a lot of thank yous from everybody. So thank you for your time. And we hope to bring you more engaging presentations like this from Nixplay and other partners that we have. But we think the world of Nixplay. They've been a great partner of ours, and we really endorse them on every level. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.